So we met about 2 years ago in the city of Vegas. Wait, in Nevada, Las Vegas, in Nevada, on a mission trip. And we've been in love ever since.
No, that's not how it happened at all. We met, actually, he was a new student to Nebraska Christian College, and I was one of the student leaders, and so a bunch of us student leaders took out all of the new kids. And we went to Dave & Buster's, and he was actually dating another girl at the time, so that's kind of funny.
I was not.
You were
It was
basically
shortly after.
No, okay. So that's how we met. We met at Dave & Buster's when we were picking out our prizes after getting a bunch of tickets. But then later, how we really became friends, we went on a mission trip to Las Vegas. That's what he always tells people. That's how we met.
That's where we connected then, at least.
Yeah, there we go.
So after we met in Vegas, we ended up becoming very close, and over the summer we hung out a lot. She even met my parents when we went to a College World Series game. And then that semester back at school, we became really, really good friends, and we'd wake up every Friday morning, or wait, was it Monday morning?
Monday.
It was Monday morning, and go to Starbucks at 7 o'clock and attempt to do homework. Sometimes it went better than others, and sometimes she would fall asleep on a couch.
Yeah, sometimes. But basically everybody thought we liked each other, but I did not like him. He was just my friend, but he liked me for that whole semester. So we just continued to hang out, and we're really good friends.
And then I asked her out in October, and she said no. And then I suffered for 3 long months.
I basically told him it was never gonna happen.
She did. Joke's on her, though.
I thought I was being honest with him. I don't know.
So on the first day back of classes after Christmas break, we ended up going to a coffee shop to get some homework done. And on the way back, I ended up asking her if she wanted to go out with me sometime.
No, this is how it happened. This is how it happened.
Okay.
We were talking about going to get chicken wings because it was 25-cent wing night, and that's all we're talking about, chicken wings. And then he goes, so maybe do you want to go out sometime? And I couldn't handle it. I was just like laughing because I was like, what? Did you just ask me that when we were talking about wings? And then he was laughing, and I'm like, what? This is not funny. Why are you saying this? And he goes, you haven't said no. That's all I got.
And then what happened?
Well, we decided, and then we went and got chicken wings, and we talked about it. And we decided to go out that Friday on our first date. And
She said yes. And the rest is history.
okay, so we were supposed to go out on Friday of that week, and honestly, it felt like the date started on Wednesday because he would find me randomly at school or in the cafeteria and slip me these notes he wrote me, and each of them were very sweet, and I was like, who is this guy? What am I getting myself into? And the closer we got to the date, he would give me more notes and just saying how excited he was to take me out, and it was super sweet. And then on Friday, when I woke up, he somehow like talked to my friends or something because I woke up to flowers in my room, and obviously he didn't put them in there, but he got my friends to put a bunch of flowers in my room and had another note just saying how he's been looking forward to this day for over 3 long months because I made him wait, and how excited he was to take me out that night. And yeah.
And then on that Friday, I picked her up at 5 o'clock, and we got all dressed up and went to Crave, which is a restaurant down in Midtown Omaha. And then after that, we went to another coffee shop and played Battleship, where I destroyed her multiple times.
I won.
And then I remember as we were driving, she was like, I don't want to make a decision whether we should date or not until like a couple days later, and I just want to enjoy this. And
I forgot
she didn't realize that I had another note pinned on the bottom of a dock board to ask her out. And so I did it anyway, and I drove her to the dock, and I pulled out a note that was taped underneath of a floorboard. And
part of me thought he was gonna propose. Like it was like underneath the dock at Walnut Creek, and he got down and like pulled this bag out, and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, I didn't propose that day. I just asked her out, and she said yes, and it was history ever since.
Yep. That was January 15th.
Please put that in there. It was January 15th of 2015. Yeah.
No, that was 16. We met in 15.
2016.
That was awkward.
It was some day, someplace. I think there's gonna be a board at our wedding. You can just look at that. This past summer, I decided that I was gonna marry Emily, and I always was trying to figure out like how am I gonna ask her dad for permission. And I found out that he liked golf, so I scoured Craigslist for a couple weeks and found some cheap left-handed golf clubs and had the guy that was hosting me in St. Louis teach me how to play golf, so I could eventually ask her dad out to go play golf with me. So in October, when she went to go to one of her best friend's weddings, I ended up calling up her dad to go play golf while she was gone. And after that, he ended up saying yes, that I could marry her, and he gave me his blessing. And then the day after that, I went and bought the ring.
And I was out of town. I was in Florida, so I had no idea any of this was happening, which was super funny because actually a couple of my friends that were with me, they knew he was going to buy all the ring and everything, and they kept the secret, so that was good.
And then I picked a date which was November 12th of 2016.
You got it wrong.
No, I didn't. Way to ruin that segment. I was
You
on
can
a roll.
start over.
So on November 12th of 2016, I was planning on proposing to Emily, and there was a lot of things that went wrong that day. I was gonna have a couple of our friends pray over us when I proposed, and one of them wasn't able to make it. The other one got sick, and so I had like last minute that day I had to find other ways to do it, and I found out that we couldn't take pictures at that time because it would have been dark and it was outside, so I actually had to move the entire proposal time. And there's just like a lot of things that went down, and I remember as I was about to leave to go to the dock to propose, one of her friends that was already down there told me that there was a bunch of people on the dock and they wouldn't move. But despite like all the things that went wrong in my mind, it all came together and worked out really well. And I took her back to the same dock that I asked her to be my girlfriend about 9 months earlier. And we walked past a couple people, and there's fish jumping in buckets and all that stuff, and she was freaked out because I actually had her eyes covered. And then I got down on one knee and pulled out one of the notes that I continually wrote her since before our first date and asked her to marry me. She didn't hesitate and said yes, and didn't even actually look at the ring beforehand, and I was scared I was gonna drop it in the lake, but it all worked out well. And then after that, we went back to the restaurant that I asked her out at and just enjoyed a dinner together just to celebrate it.
So I was told we were going out to a fancy dinner, which isn't necessarily out of the norm for us, so I didn't think anything of it. I was getting ready, and he came to pick me up in a suit and everything like that. And then I wasn't finished getting ready, and I remember I was putting my mascara on, and my hand was literally shaking, and I didn't know, like I was just nervous, and so, which was super funny because we ended up getting engaged that night. And then we got in the car and we went to Starbucks really quick. And then after we left Starbucks, he blindfolded me with whatever was in his car. I don't know what it was. And I'm like talking and being funny, like I'm blindfolded, trying to make all these jokes. And he's like not responding to me. And I didn't know where we were going. And then we get wherever we are, and he takes me out of the car. He takes the blindfold off, but I still have to close my eyes. And as we're walking, I like can feel where we're walking, and at first it was just like a path or something like that, and then I stepped onto like wood, and so I thought, I didn't know what I thought, and then I hear like water in the background, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then he had me when I finally got to open my eyes, I was standing at the edge of the dock where he asked me to be his girlfriend at. And and all I could see was all this water in front of me, and I couldn't even see him. He was like behind me or something, and he gave me a couple more notes. He continued to give me notes throughout our whole time dating, since before our first date all the way up into the engagement. One of the notes I think was one you wrote when you asked my dad if you could marry me, right? And then one was when you bought a ring, and then one was for that day. And so I think the last part of the note said, I have a question for you, and then he told me I could turn around, and he was on one knee, and I think he asked me, I don't really remember, it just all was a blur. Said yeah, and here we are. And then after I said yes, we turned around, and we had a couple of our friends there actually, which was super cool and just really exciting to be able to celebrate right away in that moment with them. And Nathan actually had them pray over us, which was really cool as well.
And then we went back to our car and continued on with our night. After that, we went to Crave, which was the first restaurant that we went to as a couple, and then we went there for Valentine's Day as well. And we just enjoyed our time together and celebrating, and she was like, should I text my family, and should I tell these people yet? And I was like, we'll take care of that later. And then we got back in the car after the restaurant, and I put another blindfold on her again and drove another 20 minutes back to the school where we met at, and all of her friends and her family and some of my friends and my family were there as well to just celebrate the fact that we were engaged. So good thing she said yes, otherwise that would have been a little awkward.
No, yeah, it was a huge surprise, and I had no idea it was coming, let alone all these people were there to celebrate with us. That was a super special moment for me. I remember walking in still blindfolded, and there's like music playing in the background, and my heart was just beating so fast, and I didn't know what was going on, and then opened my eyes, and there's all these people that I love, and so it was super special for me.
Thank you guys for coming to our wedding. We really appreciate all your support and just being able to celebrate this big day with you. We also just want to give a shout out to everybody who helped out with, whether it's running sound or doing the video for us, and coffee and cake and all that fun stuff. We also just want to thank both City Light Church and Sherwood Church for letting us use their buildings today.
Hope you guys have a great time.